Big data is nothing more than leveraging mountains and mountains of information, and it's something that improves our lives in any way possible. Leveraging all that information in such a way to cut through the complexity and make difficult things simple. A very, very basic example that we all use in our everyday lives is a GPS system. Years ago, when I first got into sales, I was selling door to door in Washington, D.C., and I had one of those big paper maps. Remember those? And the good Lord blessed me with a number of things, but a sense of direction wasn't one of them. And I used to get lost from time to time. So you think about it. With those maps, you have to figure out, where am I? Where am I? And then what page is that on this map? And then, okay, how do I get where I want to go? It's kind of manual. It's kind of difficult, error-prone. The user needs to interpret things. So shift gears to GPS. GPS hides all the complexity of the millions and millions and millions of miles of map data of roads and highways in the United States. It hides all the complexity that there's 24 satellites that are orbiting the Earth that your GPS system is connected to, and the Department of Defense runs this whole thing. It hides all that complexity. All that matters to you as a user is that you push in where you want to go, and the system tells you what to do. It actually gives you choices. That's a very rudimentary example of big data that we all use every day in our lives. Another example, how many of you shop at Amazon.com? Cool. How many of you like that feature that says customers who bought this also bought that? Is that pretty cool stuff? Not as many people raise their hands. How many people think it's obnoxious that they keep coming back to you and saying, don't you want to buy this that you looked at? Anyhow, that's no more than them mining data on past shopping and purchase history, looking for statistical similarities, and presenting that to you as a shopper at the moment of truth, at the moment of interaction. You think that's pretty successful for Amazon.com? Do you know they attribute 20 to 30% of their revenue growth to that recommendation engine? 20 to 30%. Staggering. It's another example of big data. Imagine for a moment if you had that capability in your business. Imagine for a moment if your sales reps had that capability in their business. I talked to one of my customers the other day. They're a medical products distribution company on the East Coast. They have that capability from pros. And he shared with me how he was using our software. He shared with me how they sell 55,000 products. And what they've done with us is a micro-segmentation. So they group customers together. They put different groupings of customers together. So maybe that table back there would be the orange shirt table. And those folks would have certain buying patterns, certain customer attributes that were same. And that table next to them is the white shirt table. That's another name of a segment. And maybe they're medium-sized hospitals, and they buy a certain set of products. And what he actually did with our recommendation engine was he uncovered opportunity. He mined the data, and he found that of those people at the orange shirt, in the orange shirt segment, there's 3 of them who aren't buying this product. So what I'm going to do is tailor an offer and target an offer to those people because they should be buying because everyone else in that segment is buying. Very simple stuff if you think about it. Very hard to do when you're trying to manage all the complexity of data. In that one simple example, he told me that last quarter, they netted $9 million of incremental growth. And his expectation is they get $40 million in incremental growth from similar programs. So this is a $1 billion company, and they're expecting from this simple strategy 4% of their growth to come from this type of a capability. Very, very powerful. So what do I mean by big data? Let me unpack it just a little bit further to make sure we're all really clear and on the same page. IBM just published a white paper on real-world uses of big data. And they said the number one use of big data is sales transaction history. That's what companies are doing today. That's their first big data application that they're tackling. There's so much gold in that data. So think about it. Information about your products, information about your customers, information about your costs, putting that all together and harnessing that in such a way that you can find the nuggets of gold.